What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 207, everybody. It is rookie running back ranking time. I told you guys I'd finally get to it. It has been a long process breaking down this entire star-studded running back class heading into 2025 here. I'm going to give you my top 20. I'm going to show you 5 player slides of the players I think that are going to be the most active this year coming up to your rookie drafts. And then I'll break down, day 2, round 3, round 2, running backs like that, so on and so forth here, guys. Before we dive into it here, as always, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support's greatly appreciated. You guys have been absolutely amazing. My wide receivers will drop tomorrow, most likely. I'm almost done with those as well. And then we'll get to tight ends as well here, too. And I'll have all my rookie rankings out. And let's dive into my 2025 top 20 running back rookie rankings. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my running back rookie ranking board. Baller tier at the top. That is your star-studded running backs. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5. We're going to break down my top 20 here heading into it. And there was still some outside the top 20, even the top 30, that if you want to throw in the comments and ask about, I can name them for you or break down my scouting report on them and everything. But, man, it's so hard with this class. It's so deep, so I just stuck with the top 20 here, guys. Starting off with your number 1, your clear-cut 101 in every single running back draft or every single rookie draft you have should be Ashton Jeanty. 0 questions to ask about this guy. And when I'm even looking at his, scouting report for weaknesses, I don't even know if there is none besides the usage that he had. Slightly undersized and maybe his blocking, blocking is average. It's not even bad blocking. But he was 27 yards short of Barry Sanders' all-time record in college rushing. He was number 1 in every single category. Is out of this world. His RAS score was not done at the combine, so that is unofficial. But 2,600 rushing yards, that's first. Receiving yards, 138. Total TDs was 30. Broken tackles was 88. Yak was 1970. 40 time was 89th percentile. This guy is just an unbelievable fit. I feel like he's going to be taking number 6 and go to the Las Vegas Raiders. His player comp for me is LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, strength is everything. Vision, patience, game-breaking ability, workhorse running back, receiving ability. This guy is just your all-around superstar running back. Easy number 1 here. And he's the only one I'm going to keep in the absolute baller tier. You could throw up Amari and Hampton if you wanted to. I like Amari and Hampton, at number 2 as well in the tier 1 here. So heading into Amari and Hampton here at North Carolina, this man was an absolute stud running back. Popped off 1,660 yards, which was 3rd in the NCAA. My player comp for him is Isaiah Pacheco because he runs like a violent freight train. 373 receiving yards, gotta like that as well. 3 down back, that's more than Jeanty had. Total TDs 17, RAS score was 9.97. Broken tackle 72, Yak 577, 40 time 4.46. So for scouting strengths, it was Violet Runner. I brought that up. That's what he runs like Isaiah Pacheco does, which could be, injury problem as well. So you got to watch out for that. Pad level perfection, pass blocking machine. Weaknesses, top end speed. He got tackled, a lot in the backfield. He got caught a lot on breakaway runs. He bangs into the O-line a lot. He needs to find out how to, get a little shiftiness and weight there behind it. And the lane track. So once he bounces into him, he just misses the hole that he's looking for. Those were my takes. Obviously, he's a very, very talented running back. He should be going, either 10 to the Bears or 20 to the Broncos in this draft, and is going to be a smash hit this season. Number 3 coming up right behind him is TreVeyon Henderson out of Ohio State. He was back there with Quinshon Judkins. We'll get to him in a minute. My player comp for him is Ezekiel Elliott because, if you've been part of our live shows, Big Draft Energy in here, he will tell you straight up, you change the number, they look the same. I agree 100%. The best blocking running back, pass blocking, run blocking in this class. Elite acceleration, pass catching ability is phenomenal. He had 1,000 rushing yards, but again, you got to think that they're splitting that with Quinshon. He had 1,000 plus as well. He had more than him actually, but I'm still putting TreVeyon over him. 284 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, RAS score 9.45, broken tackle 67 yards per carry, guys, 7.1, led the nation. This man is a game-breaking running back. 40 time 4.43 in the 90th percentile. Weaknesses, durability, that's why they kind of, split him back with Quinshon Judkins. He gets too fancy sometimes bouncing outside when he could just take the hole and take the yards there, which in the NFL, that's what you want. Obviously, in college, a little different. You can be a little more fancy. Coming up right behind him is going to be my guy, Caleb Johnson. Could be my Iowa U bias with him, but this guy's a 3-down machine. Puts up 1,537 yards, 7th in the country, 188 receiving yards, 3-down back, full workhorse. 23 total TDs, that was 5th. Broken tackle, 78. Yards per carry, 6.4. 40 time, 4.57. A little slower than most, but not a problem. Very patient runner, 0 fumbles, guys, 0 fumbles. Home run hitter. So when I say, like Omari and Hampton got caught from behind on a couple, breakaways, that did not happen with Caleb Johnson, even with the 40 times. So he picks up the speed as he gets going. Weaknesses, pass protection, lateral agility, and route tree. He's got to extend the route tree more than just little outside screen passes, but that will come as it goes. Coming up right behind him to round out the end of tier 1 here is going to be the other Ohio State running back, Quinshon Judkins. Now, this guy just had a monster combine. He's shown videos of working out like a crazy workhorse back. Could he be a workhorse back in the NFL? Yes. Going to depend on landing spot. Going to depend on the NFL draft here as well. My player comp for him is Joe Mixon. So he had 1,000 yards to go along with Travion Henderson's 1,000 yards. That's why you don't see them high in the rankings for yards. 161 receiving yards, total TDs 16. That was 13th. RAS score 9.87, off the chart. 26th out of, I believe, like 13,000 since the relative athletic score started. This man is a freak of nature, athletic machine. Broken tackle 78 yards per carry, 5.5. 40 time 4.48. 80th percentile. Strength, never fumbles. Power, stiff arm move. This man is a machine, and his lateral balance and balance in general for running the ball is very, very nice to watch. Weaknesses, top end speed, pass protection, and he gets a lot of negative plays trying to be too fancy, but these are all things that can be, obviously worked on as you get into the NFL here. Now, that's going to be it for my slide players, because that is my top 2 tiers. Those are the tiers that I think they're going to be most impactful here heading into the, fantasy football season. Number 6, heading down to tier 2, is going to be Cam Scatterbo, who had the monster bowl game performance that boosted his, up the charts when it happened. But what you're missing is he rushed for 1,711 yards. That's number 2 in the country. That's more than Omari and Hampton, right behind Gene T, but he's behind Gene T by like 800. That's how much Gene T went off. It's absolutely crazy. He would be a perfect fit in, say, a Shanahan scheme. Say they take him 3rd, 4th round. Then you look to, use Kyle Juszczyk, kind of style with him, because he kind of reminds me like a CMC type do-it-all player, but he's a bigger version of it. Heading behind him is going to be DJ Giddens, and this is one of my favorite targets here, guys. If you watched anything from DJ Giddens at Kansas State, this man backpacked this team for 2 years straight, absolutely balling out. Put up 1343 last season. Monster year for him. Great combine. His RAS score was off the chart. His athletic ability is off the chart. And he's my guy outside of the main guys. So if that makes any sense for you guys. Heading down to number 8 here is going to be, this is heading down to tier 3 here. So I dropped it straight from Scatterbo, getting straight down to tier 3. Devin Neal out of Kansas put up 1,266 yards. Little receiving work there as well with 254. Almost, 1,500 yards easy, you could call it, combined, and about 17 touchdowns. Going to be a day, I'd say round 3, round 4, possibly a little later. But, all these running backs from here are going to be those round 3, round 4 running backs that could possibly get in if someone gets injured or something like that, which is how I kind of started off last year. So from this point on, from like DJ Giddens under to me, is where the running back class started last year. Heading behind him is going to be R.J. Harvey, and it was very hard, by the way, to rank these guys out from here on out. So this is like my deep dive best I can here. So R.J. Harvey out of Central Florida, number 6 in rushing on the season with 1,577. The man was a machine, 267 through the air, and he had 25 total TDs, pure workhorse back for Central Florida. But again, probably a day 3, day 4 pick, and have to work his way up here. Coming up behind him, Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee. Dylan Sampson is another one of those, Jalen Wright type athletic freak running backs they had. He almost had 1,500 rushing yards as well. He finished 9th in the country there, 143 receiving. So around 1,600, plus total yards here. He also had 20 TDs on the ground. Did not find a TD through the air. Coming up behind him, Ollie Gordon, the guy that had the monster junior year. and then, or sorry, sophomore redshirt year, you call it, and then senior year kind of died back down. But this man is still talented. So if you look back at the year before, he's 1,732 rushing yards, and then his last year puts up 880. So massive difference there. Would have been a bigger hit coming up the year before. Still has tons of talent. I like him a lot as one of the sleeper backs in this draft, if you call it a sleeper with how good this class is. Behind him is going to be the guy that is shooting up everyone's board, and I don't want to mess his name up here. It is Byshell Tuten out of Virginia Tech. Just had a monster combine, 1,159 rushing yards. He also put up, very, very limited receiving work, it being the workhorse back, which is kind of scary. So pure 1-2 down back here. He only had 81 yards receiving. That's not a great number for him there. But again, that can be worked on. And I see him, as it's going right now, he might even fly up higher than this after all the hype after the combine. Heading down to tier 4 here is going to be Damian Martinez, another guy that is flying up my board here. Damian Martinez, speedster, monster combine, kind of like Byshell Tuten as well. Coming out of Miami, drops 1,002 yards on the season, 10 TDs, and puts together 204 passing yards. In a Cam Ward-led high-flying offense, he still produces a running back and is going to be, again, like a round 3, round 4, round 5 for all these guys, and they're going to be working their way in. Number 16, this one was tough for me because I really, really liked Jordan James, and then the relative athletic score at the combine he put up just really, really shot him down, which was not expected for him coming out of Oregon with the stats that he had, right? So when you look at relative athletic score, yeah, you can say, oh yeah, that's what we all like, right? We all want to see the high 9.0, the high 9.5, everything like that. But if you look at, say Kyren Williams, he had a bad combine as well, and still is one of the top 7 running backs in the NFL. So don't always put the relative athletic score above a man's work ethic. I don't do that anymore. So he put up 1,267, 15 touchdowns, 209 receiving yards at Oregon, almost 1,500 yards there as well. That's what you have to like. Going to be a sleeper, probably going to be kind of a scat back here, coming out round 3, round 4, round 5 for all these guys. So I really like Jordan James. It's going to depend on the landing spot for him. Coming up behind him is going to be Trevor Etienne, the bloodline brother of the man, the myth, Travis Etienne, who had just kind of fell off last season. So he came from Florida. He went to Georgia in a transfer, kind of played split, hasn't really got his full opportunity, didn't even play the full season, had 10 games, missed a couple with injury. I do like what I've seen from him on film, but I do want to see him get into a more, see what he can do if he gets more opportunity with it. So it's a very good sample size to look at with him, but again, it's not a lot. But again, you're coming from a great bloodline. You already have your brother in the NFL, so, you got to like that. Coming up behind him is my sleeper of the draft, Marcus Yarns out of Delaware. Now, Marcus Yarns on tape is phenomenal. Obviously, the competition you played against is not the same. He put up, back-to-back 900-yard seasons if you average them out. He's had 24 touchdowns, so averaging 12 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons as well. But what you like to see is he's also put up 300 yards receiving in both seasons, too, and 8 touchdowns there as well, too. So you're looking at 15 total touchdowns. You're looking at 300 receiving yards. This guy can do it all. Obviously, he's, not playing against SEC competition or nothing like that when you're at Delaware. But he is my sleeper of the year. And last year, my sleeper of the year was Tyrone Tracy. This is going to be my guy this year. And my sleeper before that was Devon Achane. So we're going to see if we can hit 1, 2, 3 in a row right here. This is going to be a very, very deep one here. But I really, really like what I've seen from Marcus Yarns here. Coming up behind him is going to be Taj Brooks. And Taj Brooks is one of those tough ones, man, because he had a monster year at Texas Tech, right? He put up 1,505 yards at Texas Tech to go along with 17 touchdowns, 200 yards receiving, and 1 through the air. Had a decent combine, kind of falling down people's draft boards. I can see all that. That's what happens when you don't have great 40-time, great combine time, all your relative athletic score. Still, the man was a workhorse back. He could, depending on where he lands, could take a RB2, could take a RB3 spot. Definitely going to be, later round dynasty draft pick here with him. but not as bad as not as bad as people think. For me, like, people have him way lower. I'm a lot higher on him. This is actually probably one of the highest rankings he gets. Coming in at number 18 is going to be LeQuint Allen. And I believe it is LeQuint Allen Jr., if I'm correct here. So LeQuint Allen Jr., as I'm messing up where I'm at here. Hang on. We gotta scroll back up here. Sorry. I was gonna say, the college, Syracuse with Kyle McCord and the tight end. It's a very, very big sleeper of mine coming to next year, but I'll get to that in a second. Sorry, I had to pull it back up at the wrong page up. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for him. So big season for him. Love what I saw on tape. Runs heavy high with the pads, which is something that kind of like Adrian Peterson style for him. I really like that. Great receiving back. Put up 500 yards, which is a second in the country at receiving yards for the running back position. That's what you want to see. That's a 3-down back. Could carve his way out into a 3-down role here for him, or not 3-down role. Sorry, a 3rd-down back role for him here. Sorry, it's early in the morning. And I think if he falls in the right situation, you could be looking kind of like a Jaleel McLaughlin, kind of type 3-down back role here for him, and you could possibly get some fantasy relevance out of that. So it's not the highest, not a great high ranking from me for him, but he's going to crack the top 20 for me. Coming in at number 19 is going to be the Michigan 5-year Khalil Mullins. I don't want to say it wrong here. It's one L, sorry, Mullings. So almost 1,000 yards on the ground last season, 12 TDs, but 0 limited receiving work from him, which is what you don't like. So you're hoping that it could, you could pick that up here in the NFL. But I really like what I saw from him. He hits the holes hard, big power runner. Not one of the best, combines for him, Ras. With this stacked class, if you finish around top 12, top 15, you're still good, because this class is very, very tough here. Last but not least, to round out my number 20, we're going to go with a USC 5-year we'll say 5-year producer. So, I mean, he kind of had to earn his way to the top, right? So if you look at it, not a lot of these running backs have been there for 5 years with 300, 400, 500, 500. Then he had his big run. So he was in the split share the whole way. And then he finally got the starting job his senior year. Woody Marks was very, very nice. Very nice to watch on tape. He put up 1,500 total yards, 1,133 on the ground, 321 through the air, and 9 TDs. And again, USC still not back to that USC type, baller running back status, but he is going to round out my number 20 spot for the rookie running backs. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my top 20 rookie running backs for this class. And remember, this class is super deep. So if you guys have any questions about any other ones, there's a ton of other running backs. I could have gone 35 deep. I just didn't want to do it because it's such, they're all so good second, third tier here. So it made it really difficult. Before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support's appreciated. Again, if you have any other questions dealing with fantasy football, it does not have to pertain to this video. You can drop them in there. I'm here to help you with every single thing that there is heading into the season. We have a couple updates coming. I will be live again tonight, 5 p.m. We'll be drafting again. We are going to be launching our Patreon here, which is full-time access to me and my co-host, Big Draft Energy. So that is going to be something we're launching here this week as well, which is going to be more information, more access to us for you guys to help you guys get that fantasy football championship. And my wide receiver video will be dropping tomorrow for the rookie top 20 rankings, and my tight end will hopefully be by the end of this week. I've been, under the weather the past couple of days, but I'm going to try and get it all out to you guys this week so all my rookies are done. You guys can see all the rookies before. We're like 25 days away from those rookie drafts. So, again, we got to be plugged in here. So that's it for me. Thanks for rocking with me today. Sleazebomb out.